Hello everyone. In one of my earlier videos, I have very clearly mentioned the importance of vocabulary, why and how to study the vocabulary, especially the students who are preparing for competitive exams like Staff Selection Commission, CGL, SSC, CHSL, and so on. So this is the part 1 of the 400 must study vocabulary. And before I start sharing the most important 400 vocabulary with you, my humble request is, how do you watch this video? Kindly maintain a running notes because I am going to discuss with you vocabulary, and every word that I share with you, I'll also try to give you a very clear meaning and also a suitable example, if not for all the words, at least a few, so that your running notes will really help you. And also, do not worry about the spelling of the words. It is true that I am not using any board or any presentation. I'm just dictating the words so that you will get to hear them. But in the description of the video, I will very clearly mention every word which I am going to discuss in the video. So if you have any spelling queries regarding any vocabulary, you can check the description of the video. So we will go into the vocabulary. This is a part 1 of the 400 must study vocabulary for SSC CGL and SSC CHSL, and of course in that regard any competitive exams. Vocabulary number 1, entrust. What is meant by entrust? Trusting someone and taking care of them, or trusting someone and giving them a kind of responsibility. For example, my boss entrusted me with this task. My boss entrusted me with this project because he has a trust on me. That's what we call entrust. And vocabulary number 2, nimble. Nimble is all about being very quick in action. So that's what we call nimble. That's what we call nimble. The nimble wicket keeper. Like, whenever we talk about MS Dhoni, he is known for his quick action of taking stumps as a wicket keeper, right? So nimble is all about being very quick in action. Then the third word is Philistine. The third vocabulary is Philistine. What is meant by Philistine? One who focuses on only materialistic things. One who focuses on only materialistic pleasures. He doesn't have any interest or passion for culture, arts, and so on. He purely enjoys the materialistic world around him. That's what we call Philistine. Actually, students, Philistine is actually also discussed in vocabulary section called one word substitutes. Okay, so Philistine is what? One who enjoys only materialistic things but doesn't have any interest in culture, arts kind of stuff. Vocabulary number 4, sinister. Vocabulary number 4, sinister. What is meant by sinister? Very wicked kind of thing, a kind of evil. Sinister is wicked or evil. Wicked or evil. For example, I'll give you an example. The policeman quickly took note of the sinister man's appearance. The policeman quickly took note of the sinister man's appearance. A man appeared who looks wicked or something, a kind of dangerous thing. So we call sinister wicked or evil kind of thing. Vocabulary number 5, mendicant. Vocabulary number 5, mendicant. Who is known as mendicant? Mendicant is someone who begs for a living. So mendicant is someone who begs for a living. He lives only by begging. That's what we call mendicant. And vocabulary number 6, loiter. 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 What is meant by loiter? To stick around without any real purpose. I think loiter is a word we very often use in our day-to-day communication also. Why do you loiter? So loiter is simply moving here and there without any without having any actual serious purpose or any objective. So loiter is simply moving here and there. You can easily remember that. Then we have compassion. Please understand there is a difference between passion and compassion. Passion is to have extreme interest in doing something, whereas compassion is understanding others, awareness of, being aware of others' feelings. So that's what we call compassionate. So passion is different from compassion. Compassion means understanding others' feelings and emotions. That's what we call compassion. You must have compassion towards others. That's what we say. And vocabulary number 8, catastrophe. Vocabulary number 8, catastrophe. What is meant by catastrophe? A disaster. Usually, what is the difference between disaster and catastrophe? Uh, in one way, catastrophe is a disaster in a huge proportion. So, catastrophe is a huge disaster, a kind of huge disaster. You can remember like that, catastrophe. And vocabulary number 9, appertain. Vocabulary number 9, appertain. Any doubt regarding spelling? Check in the description. I have clearly mentioned all the vocabulary. So, what is the meaning of appertain? What is the meaning of appertain? Appertain is linked to something or somebody, like associated with. So appertain means associated with or related to something. Related to something. For example, a journalist asked the politician a question, and the politician got very much anger. And the politician said, "Do not ask this question, because how do you think this question? I mean, like, this question doesn't appertain to the objective of the interview, right? This question doesn't appertain to the objective of the interview in any way. So do not ask a question of this sort." So appertain means associated with or linked to or in relation with someone. That's called appertain. And word number 10, abhor. Abhor. Vocabulary number 10 for today in this video, abhor. What is meant by abhor? To reject someone. Abhor is to reject someone or something very strongly. I'll give a simple example. I abhor liars. Liar is someone who tells lies. So I abhor liars. I abhor impatient people. I abhor people who are excessively greedy. So abhor is reject someone very strongly. Vocabulary number 1 is very simple, important. Opine. Opine. What is meant by opine? It's nothing but telling your opinion is called opine. Telling what you actually want to say is called opinion. Saying is called opine. We usually say this, right? Doctors usually opine that exercise is good for health. Or what I would like to opine today is vocabulary is a great pillar for a good score in English exams. So opine is saying what you actually have opinion in your mind. And vocabulary number 12 in this video, personify. It's a very, very, very important word. Personify. What is meant by personify? What is meant by personify? To give the qualities of a human being to a thing or a concept. To give the qualities of human being to a thing or a concept. For example, there is a thing, it is a non-living thing, but you think that this particular non-living thing has some qualities of a human being, then we say, I'm trying to personify this. I'm trying to personify this. I'll give you a wonderful example. The sculpture. The sculpture seems to personify justice as a blind individual. The sculpture tries to personify justice as a blind individual. So personify means giving some qualities of a human being to a non-living thing, or a kind of concept also. We all have different concepts that we believe in, and there we use the word personify. You are too much personifying your concept. Okay, so personify is very clear. Then word number 13, endowed. 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 What is meant by endowed? Supplied or furnished with. Endowed means supplied with something or furnished with something. Furnished with something. I'll give you a simple example. I'll give you a very simple example. Try to understand from the example. Women tend to ignore. Women tend to ignore the client because he wasn't endowed with the same good looks as his brother. Because he didn't seem to be endowed with good looks. It's like having something. So endowed means having something or equipped with something, or furnished with something, or so on. So endowed means a kind of having something. right? So word number 14 is a very common word that we see on the newspaper on day-to-day basis. Probe, right? P-R-O-B-E, probe. What is meant by probe? Very normally, almost on day-to-day basis, we find this word probe on our newspaper almost every day. So what is probe? Investigate or inquire, right? So the pathologist will probe the tissue for the signs of cancer. So what is probe? The pathologist will probe the tissue for the signs of cancer. Probe is a normal word. I don't need to elaborate much on this. So probe means investigate or inquire. Word number 15, zenith. Very, very, very great word. Very important word. Zenith. Z-E-N-I-T-H. So what is meant by zenith? Zenith means the strongest or most successful period of time. We in our life we all have different phases. A phase where you are dull, a phase where you are absolutely happy, a phase where you are very successful, a phase where you are nobody, a phase where you are not liked by anyone, a phase where you are liked by many, a phase where you are successful, a phase where you are rich, a phase where you are poor, and so on. So zenith is a phase of your life where it's like the period where you are very successful. The most strongest, the most successful period in your life is what we call zenith. Very important word, isn't it? And the word number 16 in this video, reconciliation. Reconciliation. And this word is also very often used in books, English novels. So reconciliation means restoration of some good relations. So restoration of some good relations. I'll give a simple example. If the reconciliation between the two Indian tribes takes place, there will be a wonderful peace in this area. So there has to be some reconciliation between these two brothers who parted away from each other 10 years back. So reconciliation is restoration of some good relations. That's what we call reconciliation. Then retroactive. It's a good word. Retroactive. What is meant by retroactive? Retroactive means influencing the previous time. That's what we call retroactive. Influencing the past time, influencing the previous time. I'll give a simple example to understand it. I'll give a simple example to understand the meaning of retroactive. What is retroactive? Influencing the past time. I'll give an example. Retroactive payments for last year will be included in the current year's payouts. So some or the other way, retroactive is about having some influence of the past in the present, right? We usually say retrospection, retrospective events. And 18th word in this vocabulary section, lofty. Lofty. What is meant by lofty? Lofty means great and worthy of price. Lofty means great and worthy of price. I'll give a simple example. My sister sets lofty goals. My sister sets lofty goals in order to challenge herself. So lofty means great and worthy of price. She sets lofty goals. Great, or something having a lot of worth. That's called lofty, great, or worth of price. And 19th vocabulary in this video, deceased. D-E-C-E-A, D-E-C-E-A-S-C-D. D-I-S-E-A-S-C is one, disease. This is deceased. D-E-C-E-A-S-C-D. Deceased is a very common word. Again, we find this word. We use this word in a day-to-day communication also. Deceased man. The members of the family of the deceased person. Deceased means someone who is no longer alive. And the last word and 20th word in this video, that is blend. B-L-E-N-D. Blend. What is meant by blend? Blend means a mixture of two or more things. Blend means a mixture of two or more things. I'll give a wonderful example. There is a man called Harry. Harry tried to blend in with the locals when he vacationed in China last month. So he tried to blend in with the locals. He tried to mingle with them. So blend means mixture. Blend means a mixture of two or more things. India is a nation where there is a blend of different traditions, different customs. So blend means a mixture of two or more things. These are the 20 very commonly used, commonly expected vocabulary in various competitive exams. So this is the part 1 in our 400 must study vocabulary for various competitive exams. Kindly make a running notes and have a target. The purpose of this vocabulary program is, usually students do not study vocabulary on a day-to-day basis. So at least per day 20 words or 30 words or maximum 40 words. Fix a target to learn X number of new words every day, at least by watching these videos, so that by the time you go to your examination, may it be SSC CGL or CHSL, you will have at least 5 or 600 vocabulary in your mind. And vocabulary is a scoring section. If you know the meaning, it doesn't take much time to answer the vocabulary. So why do you want to lose marks in such an easy section called vocabulary section? So these are the 20 words in this video. We will meet again in our next upcoming videos on vocabulary sessions where we will discuss still a lot more words. All the best.